everybody for this presentation today. So we are going to. Ada yang belum di mute, sorry. So we are going to present our reviewing a journal article for today. So for the presentation, can you see from the screen? Is that okay? There is a problem? No, okay. Okay. So this is so today we are going to reviewing a journal article. The title is Analysis of Teacher Instructional Communication Barriers. Let's meet our team. So 7 of us will present our journal. There is Rizka, Dinda, Hosana, and me, Jessica, Aini, Angga, and Putri. So we will present about the basic information, abstract, introduction, literature review, and then about the method, result, or findings, about the discussion, and also about the concluding remarks. So Angga, you can explain about the basic information of our journal for today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Maria, for basic information. Next, Maria. Judul dan penulisnya yaitu Yumelda Sari, affiliationnya Fakultas Communication Studies Esa Unggul. Untuk jurnal Analysis of Teacher Instructional Communication Barriers. Untuk penelitian yaitu Communication Research. Next, Maria. Title of journal, volume number, date, month, and page number. Title of journal, Analysis of Teacher Instructional Communication Barriers. Volume I, number 42022, page number 977 and 985. Statement of the problem or issue discussion using blended learning is that there are different in student attitude in responding to instruction given by teacher. Lanjut, Maria. Untuk tujuan penulis, pendekatan atau metode temuan utama atau biasa kita sebut dengan kualitatif. Author use qualitative description method to describe and explain more accurately and activities and research object. Nah, jadi di sini dia menggunakan metode kualitatif dan cara relief. Dia mendatangkan di suatu SD di 2004. Next, Maria. So, abstract is the title of the article, accurate and clear. Kenapa bisa gitu? Ya, karena data collection ways also carried out by observing the teacher of the Durkepa 03 Elementary School, Kebenjeruk Village, and Altasana Junior High School, Grogol Petamburan Village, West Java, West Jakarta. Lanjut Maria. What information is included in the abstract? In the table, communication disorders that occur and carry out 10 steps of interactional communication. Then pedagogical content in terms of the aspect of teacher interactional communication during the COVID-19 pandemic can be overcome. Next, Maria. Is the abstract specific? Belum. Is the abstract specific receipt of the article and in the correct form? Nah, yang dimaksud di sini apakah abstrak spesifik mewakili artikel dan dalam bentuk yang benar? Nah, jawaban saya di sini yes. Because the article already contain the problem being studied, the methodology used, research, consultation, and recommendation. Nah, yang dimaksud itu saya menggunakan metodologi dan sesuai dengan saya datang ke tempatnya gitu. Next, Maria. Maria, yang evaluasi belum? Nah, di sini saya akan evaluasi keseluruhan tentang abstrak, yaitu overall evaluation about the abstract. Nah, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed human life, include education. The learning process, the was original face-to-face, yaitu kita sebut dengan offline. Biasanya kita tatap muka. Nah, di sini kita ganti dengan online. Dan and now is learning online and offline. Jadi kita belajar dengan mobile. Thank you. Next, Maria. Untuk introduction, background dilanjutkan oleh Maria.
Thank you, Angga, sebelumnya. Thank you, Angga. Introduction or background. Next, please, Maria. Is the purpose of the article made clear in the introduction? The purpose of the article is made clear in the introduction. The article aims to discuss the importance of communication in education, particularly between teachers and students, and how effective communication can lead to a comfortable learning environment and process for students. Next, please, Maria. So guys, you can see on this slide about statement in journal based on the pandemic and referring to the result of the research above. This study is made at exploring two things, namely what factor caused teacher instructional communication barriers during the COVID-19 pandemic, and how teacher strategies overcome barriers to instructional communication during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, please. What is the main statement of the problem? The main statement of the problem in the article is to investigate the communication skill of teacher in conducting online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia, and to analyze the impact of this communication skill on student learning outcomes and overall certification with online learning. Next, please, Jessica. So guys, you can see on this slide about statement in journal. It is a state the instructional communication is carried out in 10 communication pattern. Next, please, Jessica. What is the background information on the problem? The background information on the problem is that communication is an essential aspect of human life and playing a significant role in education. Is it a clear and logical present? Yes, the text is a general present in clear and logical manner. It provides information about the importance of communication in human life. It's relevant to education and teaching. And the for competition, the teacher should process according to Indonesian law. Next, please. So guys, you can see on this slide about statement in journal in the attachment to the regulation of the Minister of National Education number 16 of 2007. Next, please, Jessica. What is the educational significance of the problem discussed? The educational significance of the problem discussed is that effective communication is crucial for the success of the teaching and learning process. Next, please. Again, so guys, you can see on this slide about statement in journal, the law of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 of 2003. Next, please. Overall evaluation of the introduction section. The introduction section provides a clear overview of the research topic and the problem being addressed. Overall, the introduction section effectively set the stage for the rest of the paper and provide a strong foundation for the research to follow. The next slide will be presented by Putri Ayu.
Okay, thank you, Dinda, for the presentation. Okay, and then next, our friends will explain about the next slide. Putri,
Yes,
are you ready?
of course.
Okay, and thank you for the Miss Winda and friends. Are you guys still enjoy the slide? If you have any
Yes.
comments, can give a comment in comment section in call message in Google Meet for the comment positive or negative. Thank you. And you guys can give us the reaction like this. Yeah, it's like live on TikTok, right? So it's not a boring presentation. So guys, thank you, Lintang. Woohoo! Okay, Putri, take your time to explain.
Okay,
Slide.
literature review. Is the review comprehensive? Yes, it's comprehensive because the journal explains how the teacher taught during the COVID pandemic. Moreover, there were many obstacles for the teachers in the Kebonjeruk and Grogol Petamburan subdistriction. Okay, next. What is the main theory used in the research? Based on research by R. Susanto et al. In 2019, is the known that the ability to carry out instructional communication is one of the benchmark aspect of teacher pedagogic competence. The result of this study indicate the more effective the instructional communication pattern, the higher the teacher pedagogic competence. For this reason, is the necessary to improve pedagogic by carrying out effective international communication patterns. Ratnawati Susanto, Rosali, and Agustina, 2019. Okay, next. Does the research aim to support or refute or extend the current theory? Based on the theoretical explanation above, it can be seen that there is a link between the importance of the discussion teacher interactional communication during the COVID-19 pandemic with pedagogic competence. In this regard, the writer analyzed the barriers to interactional communication using the Shannon-Weaver communication model. Okay, next. Are all cited reference relevant to the problem under investigation? Why and why not? Penton 19996 explain the barriers of obstacles in communication will always extend in every communication process. Refer 2016. Okay, next. Are there any hypotheses the author does not write explicitly as the hypothesis, but as readers, we can find the hypothesis itself? Okay, next. Have the reference been critically analyzed and the result of various studies compressed and contrasted? Is the review more than a series or summaries and description? Okay, next. According to Slamet 2011, PICM is an acronym that stands for learning that is meant to excite youngsters, encourage invitation and creativity in such a way that it is effective while still being entertaining. Empirically, this research was conducted so that pedagogic competence in the term of teacher instructional communication can create a climate of active, innovative, creative, effective, and fun learning. Okay, next. Overall, the evaluation of the literature review selection, the evaluation of the literature review of the content of the journal is quite good and interesting in explaining the contraction of teacher teaching during the COVID pandemic 19. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Putri, for the presentation today. Okay, for the methodology, Jessie will present by myself.
Okay, Jessie, you can open your cam.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Hello. Good evening, all. So today I'm going to explain about the methodology about this journal. For the first question is, what type of research methodology is used? So okay, from this journal, as you guys can see, the type of research methodology used is qualitative description methods. And then for the next question is, do you think is it appropriate? And then I will explain with my reason also. The author aims to identify the communication barriers faced by teachers in blended learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. A descriptive approach with qualitative data is used to understand and study people in everyday life. with the aim of identifying how their behavior experience are shaped by the context of their life, such as social, economic, cultural, and physical context in their life. This type of research is expected to assist researchers in producing an appropriate description of the barriers to instructional communication faced by teachers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, what is the research design? The approach used in this research is a case study. The case study method is needed by researchers to answer the how or why question of an ongoing phenomenon. By in 2019. Okay, next. Describe the steps or the procedure. So this journal, the writer used interview, focus group discussion, and the observation. So for the interview, they use interview guidelines as a guide in asking questions related to the object of research, namely the obstacles faced by teachers in carrying out instructional communication during teaching and learning activities during the COVID-19 pandemic. The interview questions were concluded in a relaxed but serious atmosphere, and the interview question developed according to the answer from the informant and the needs of the research data. For the focus group discussion, in addition to concluding the in-depth interviews, data collection techniques were also carried out using the FGD to obtain the strength and weakness of the instructional communication concluded by the teacher. And about the observation, the observation were made to record things, behavior, developments, and others related to the behavior and action of instructional communication carried out by teachers to students during the research process, which took place from December 12, 2021 until 21 December 2021. And then number 5, describe the sample or object of the research. The technique of determining informant is in this study use purposive sampling. That is, since the beginning, the sample has been determined with certain consideration, namely those who are considered to have the capability and competence to provide maximum data. Additional data in the form of documents, literature, article, journal, documentaries, archive, or of activity publication, link to internet site, other related research problem, and supporting research analysis in the form of online and offline secondary methods. And next, what research instrument or tools are used? Are they appropriately and validate? For me, the instrument used in this study is the author herself. In this research, the author employed a field data analysis approach using the Miles and Huberman model. It means that the data collection was conducted repeatedly until data saturation was achieved, ensuring the reliability of the data. And the last, overall evaluation of the method section. From this journal, starting from the title, followed by the object, the method using is appropriate. As a reader, we can interpret the result. The obtained results are more profound, and the author collected data through interviews, focus group discussion, and also the observation. So this is my slide. And next,
Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Next, oh yeah, next Hosanna will present about the result. Thank you. Hosanna, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
The
thank you,
camera
Jessica.
also ready, right? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. So Hosanna, I hope you're not nervous as me, okay?
No, you're good.
Hopefully, thank you.
I
Okay,
will mute and turn off my camera, okay?
okay, thank you, Jessica.
Okay, take your time.
Okay. So, no. Back, please. Okay. So this part, I will talk about the result based on the reviewing guide that we got from Miss Yumelda. There are few questions for result section. The first one is, next slide, please. Okay, so the first question is, what are the main results or findings? During the COVID-19 pandemic, education in Indonesia was held using the blended learning method, or a combination of offline and online education as a learning patterns. This condition creates obstacles for teachers in the districts of Kebonjeruk and Grogol Petamburan in the process of effective learning communication. Next slide. Okay, the second question is, are the hypotheses tested? Are they supported or rejected? This hypothesis is tested, but the writer doesn't clearly declare the hypothesis was tested. According to our analysis, it was tested. It says every teacher is required to have pedagogic competence. Pedagogic competence is the ability to manage a student's learning, such as understanding students, designing and implementing learning, assessing learning outcomes, and developing students to realize their various potentials. Next slide, please. The third question is, are the results clearly presented? Yes, it's clearly presented. Pedagogic competence based on educational communication patterns is one of the basic aspects that teachers must possess. In overcoming instructional communication disorders that occur during the blend, the teachers of SDN Duri Kepa perform various communication patterns. Among them is to carry out informative communications, namely by not limiting students to get explanation related to the subject matter only during class hours. The teachers of SDN Duri Kepatri also communicate ideas by giving students time to submit their suggestions or thoughts related to learning activities. Next slide, please. Okay, so the fourth question is, are the tables and figures well organized and easy to understand? It has a clear and well-explained pictures because the writers describes every detail of data that used for this journal. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the first one. This is the first pictures. And next slide. This is the second picture. So both of these we took from the journal. As you can see, guys, this is it's clear image so that it's easy to understand. Next slide, please. Okay, so the fifth question is, are the data in each table and figure described in the text? Actually, if we are talking about data, there is no exact table and figure that describe the data specifically because the writer used case study as a research method. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the last questions for result section. Overall evaluation about the result section. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed human life, including education. The learning process that was originally face-to-face has changed online, and is now a blended learning of offline and online. In carrying out their duties, teachers are required to have pedagogical competence in accordance with the provisions of the legislation. One aspect of educational competence that must be met is the ability to carry out instructional communication. In the process, there are times when communication cannot run effectively, causing the message sent cannot be received equally by the communicant. Barriers of communication disorders can also occur in the instructional communication process carried out by teachers to students. As a result, the instructions given by the teacher to students in the blended learning cannot be understood equally by students, so that teachers fail to create a pleasant learning atmosphere, or known as active, innovative, creative, effective, and fun learning. Thank you. Next slide will be presented by Rizka.
Okay, Hosanna, thank you for the presentation. Next, the slide will be presented by Rizka, and then for all of my friends here, prepare your question, okay? Because in the end of the presentation, we will waiting for your question. Also from Miss Winda, we also waiting for your question. Thank you, Rizka.
Okay, thank you, Jessie and Hosanna. Okay, guys, if you guys still enjoy these presentations, let us know if you still enjoy by sending us a reaction thumbs up. You can sense the reactions because we long way from the introduction background, from the methodology, and here we are. This is the discussion sections. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the reactions, guys. Thank you for enjoying us. Okay, next slide, Desi. Okay. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is after we talk about the results before, now we talk about the discussions. Okay, in these discussion sections, there are some questions. The first is its result discussed in terms of the original hypothesis to which it relates? Yes, each of the discussions result is related to each other, but the author does not write down the hypotheses that are built. In this research, in this study, the author stated that the aim was to identify communications barrier to learning communications at the SDN Gurika Prakosong 3 and SMP Guruk Petamburan. And from this purpose, as a reader and a reviewer, I see that the hypothesis that the researchers, the author built, was that learning communications barriers that occur during COVID-19 could be overcome by carrying out 10 steps of personal communications, which is these competencies is also one of the competencies pedagogic that a teacher must have. Okay, next slide. Okay, and second is its results discussed in terms of its agreement or disagreement with previous results. Not all results discussed in their agreement or disagreement with the previous result. But in these discussion sections of the teacher strategies to overcome exceptional communications, the researchers discuss by mentioning the result of previous. So the author presents the obstacle that found in the previous result by the previous researchers, and this shows that there is agreement from the researchers about the obstacle they found in the previous research. And with the discussion section, you can next, Daisy. Yes, and this is this. As written in the article, in facing obstacle in international communication process, the teachers of SDN Gurika Prakosong 3 and teachers of SMP Al Kasana also conducted mentoring conversations. The research state that the two teachers at the school carry out the same strategy, and this is namely communication assistance to overcome their obstacle. Okay, the next. Okay, what are the limitations of the present research? The first limitation of the research is, as stated by the author, that the research was only conducted into schools. And the second is the research use qualitative methods. So the results cannot be said to be representative of other schools. And also, the research was only conducted at elementary school and junior high school, which in fact that during the COVID-19 pandemic, senior high school is also apply this blended learning method. So this results, this result of the research cannot be said that it was able to apply in senior high school. Okay, the next.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Kepencet. Wait a minute, okay.
Okay, here we go again.
Here we go again. There is a problem.
For
Really?
boost our
Why?
Hi.
No. So let's share the viewers, Rizka. Help me to.
Okay, guys, send the reaction for helping us to don't get nervous, guys. Send a love reactions or the thumbs up reactions. Please send us. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm very nervous. Okay.
So I have to click
Are you
again.
done?
Not yet.
Okay. Sorry,
Because I
guys, for
have to
the
share. Yeah, I have to share.
in the presentations.
Hi, go. A tab. I need a tab. Okay. Okay. Almost.
Okay.
Oke.
Okay.
Nggak oke sih sebenarnya. Nah, tadi Rizka slide ke
4. Next. Okay, next. Stop. Can you
this.
back? But okay. Yeah, this is this one. Okay.
So I will present again. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys, for the little distractions in this in our presentation. Okay, let's focus again. Okay, the next is are theoretical and practical implications of the findings discussed. Yes, theoretical and practical implication of the findings are discussed. This can be seen in the discussion sections on the finding regarding the factors of communications that occur. The researchers presents the obstacle that found in her research, and she's explained that this obstacle included in the obstacle factors, which is are accordance with the theory that she's used that she's used in the research. Okay, and such as in the written article, this is shows the next slide will shows this is the obstacle in the process of the delivery and psychologies. Okay, and this is the statement that the writer write in the article. This is you can guys see in this picture in this statement that in the last paragraph. This statement shows that the factors the teachers to the students is international communications process experience obstacle in the delivery and psychosocial barriers. So this is according to the statement of the writer. Okay, the next slide. Okay, this will show this indicate a physical barrier. Next slide. Okay, this is the statement that written in the article, and this is you can guys see this in the last sentence in the paragraph. This statement shows that unblended learning disturbance in the rational communications process do not only occur in offline learning, but obstacle also exists when carried online. This is the obstacle that the researchers found. Okay, the next slide. Okay, and this is shows semantic barriers. Next slide. Okay, this is in this article state that according in part 1, 5, and 6, semantic barriers was also found where when the students find it difficult to understand the technical language listed in the textbook. Okay, the next slide. Okay, next slide. What are the recommendations for future research? The recommendations for further research are able to be researched using different methods and different approaches, such as quantitative research with a survey approaches. This is in order to obtain that the result can be more representative of other schools. And also, the research also conducted in senior high school as well, not only in elementary school and junior high school. And the next. The research of the locations can be more extensive, not only in Grogol and Kubang Jeruk sub-district, but more can be more extensive, not only in Jakarta. And the last recommendations for further research can examine the impact experienced by teachers, students, and school from communications barriers that occur during blended learning. Okay, that's from me. I will give it back to our moderator, Jessie. Thank you guys for your attention, and thank you, Ms. Winda, for your attentions too.
Thank
Okay,
you, Rizka, for the
Jessie.
presentation. And thank you guys for the reaction also. And then next, for the last topic, right, Rizka? This is the last topic, right? So it will present by Aini ya?
Yes.
But is Aini here?
Okay.
Aini
I
with us or no?
wait. Let me check it out. I think she's not here today.
She's not with us. Okay. So who will take over the presentation? Rizka, can you help me? So we
Yes,
can
okay.
switch, like the first question, me, and then next Rizka.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm sorry guys, because one of our member is not here. So Jessie and Rizka will present about the concluding remarks, and also this is our last topic for today. So for the first question is about is the research important and why? Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. I will check it first, yeah. The conclusion of this study is that by identifying communication disorder that occurred and carrying out 10 steps of instructional communication, then pedagogic competence in terms of aspect of teacher instructional communication during the COVID-19 pandemic can be overcome. In this study, the authors use qualitative description methods to describe and explain more accurately the activities and research object related to the phenomenon under study, and to distinguish them from other phenomena. A descriptive approach with qualitative data is used to understand and study people in everyday life, with the aim of identifying how their behavior experience are shaped by the context of their life, such as social, economic, cultural, and physical context in their life. This type of research is expected to assist researchers in producing an appropriate description of the barriers to instructional communication faced by teachers during the COVID-19 pandemics. And Rizka, can you help me for the second question, or?
Okay.
Okay.
Summarize the theoretical, methodological, practical application of the research findings. Okay. So the summaries for the theoretical is this. In this research, the author using the theoretical by the using the PyCharm and some of the the tense of competences pedagogik that untuk mengukur penelitiannya gitu.
Yeah.
And then for the methodological, she's used the qualitative method with the case study and practical applications like the previous I present the stated the implication is she's found the obstacle and she's related it to with the theory that she found that she mentions in the article. Okay, so for the smartest is like that, and for the third,
What are your suggestions to improve this research? For us, the research is already good, yeah. There is about the improve. I think yang seperti kita bicarakan kemarin di tim bahwa mungkin lingkup ya, the location and then also the data analisisnya mungkin harus lebih detail, gak bisa cuman dari kemarin apa ya Riz ya, kebon jeruk doang sama petamburan.
The locations of the research more extensive ya, lebih luas lagi, nggak cuma di kebon jeruk atau Grogol Petamburan, nggak cuma di kebon jeruk atau di Grogol, dan juga untuk for the research gitu juga bisa nggak cuma di SD atau di SMP, tapi juga bisa di lingkup SMA dan bahkan juga mungkin bisa di lingkup dalam konteks universitas. Itu
must be head to head gitu, walaupun itu West Jakarta oke, tapi bagi kita kayak kalau bisa lebih detail akan menjadi lebih baik gitu researchnya. Tapi overall for this research is already good ya.
Yes.
Enough lah, good enough for us and easy to reader
and it's informative.
Yeah, it's informative and already complete. Jadi dari pertanyaan yang diberikan, kami juga bisa mencari jawabannya dengan cukup mudah dari jurnal yang kami pilih gitu.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I'm sorry we explain spontaneously because I need not here. So this is spontan from me and Rizka. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, wait a minute. And this is it. Thank you for listening and don't hesitate to ask any question. Thank you, Miss Winda and friends. You guys already hear and watch our presentation about 30 minutes ya, kayaknya 40 deh, almost 40 minutes because of my clumsiness. And then we are waiting for the question, and then thank you to attend this Zoom meet,
Yes,
Gmeet ya.
for your
I'm
attention
sorry,
and enjoying us.
we are sorry karena masih banyak kekurangan, tapi kami harap kami bisa dari presentasi ini teman-teman bisa nangkep apa yang kami review dari jurnal yang kami pilih gitu. Terima kasih. Miss Winda.
Okay. You guys can stop record.
Okay, and then I will stop record also. Stop. Okay. Aku tetap record atau enggak ya? Maksudnya pertanyaan tetap di-record, Miss?
Pertanyaan harus di-record.
Oh, oke.
Aku sudah unrecord lagi. Tidak nggak apa-apa.
Nggak apa-apa, aku belum. Aku baru sadar soalnya. Iya, sorry.
Ya nggak apa-apa. Aku juga record lagi nggak apa-apa. Jadi nggak apa-apa.
Aku record. Aku masih.
Ya nggak apa. Ntar aku juga record semua lagi. Okay, so guys, if you guys have any questions, you can open your mic or you can comment in the chat sections.
Comment section. Tapi prefer with
with open your mic gitu.
Okay.
Okay. If
Rating.
you kalau misalkan tanyanya nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, nggak apa-apa dengan Indonesia. Kira-kira juga ngomong
Kita
bahasa
akan
Indonesia.
berusaha untuk menjawab in English.
Ya, oke. Your questions, what our presentations are rating, guys.
Mbak Ceci.
Hello guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanna have one question about what Hosanna say. Hosanna say about fun learning. Is that correct, Hosanna? I just want to ask about what fun learning the author mentioned. Okay, thank you. Do you guys understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so I'm sorry, who am I talking to? Because I can see
I'm
your
sorry. I'm Rahma.
Rahma.
Rahma, yeah.
Rahma, okay. Okay, so for Rahma, actually, in this journal, it says about like in online and offline learning, which is we call it blended learning. Ini tuh ada beberapa disruption gitu loh, kayak ada suatu obstacle yang membuat suatu learning ini menjadi terganggu, jadi nggak fun gitu loh. Jadi kan beda ya, pasti ada difference-nya between pembelajaran face to face sama blended learning kayak gini ya kan. Nah di jurnal ini tuh bilang kalau pedagogi kompetensi itu adalah suatu ability yang harus dimiliki oleh teacher supaya bisa ibaratnya tuh si COVID ini kan rintangan lah ya, suatu tantangan juga untuk teachers di dalam blended learning ini yang biasanya kita learning secara face to face, dapat materinya, terus dapat euforianya, suasananya. Nah, blended learning ini menjadi suatu tantangan buat educational juga gitu loh, educational aspect juga. Nah, ini di dalam jurnal ini pedagogi kompetensi itu suatu ability yang harus dimiliki teachers-nya supaya bikin si learning ini tuh nggak boring dan juga supaya bikin learning ini tuh anak-anaknya bisa ngerti pembelajaran yang diajarkan seperti itu. Maybe any other friends mau tambahin nggak yang pertanyaan dari Kak Rahma nih?
Ya, dari aku setuju sih memang kalau blended itu kan pasti ada kurangnya ya, apalagi awal-awal ini kan dari jurnalnya dia ngangkat kejadiannya itu dari bulan Desember 2021, di mana itu masih awal-awal banget, jadi kita belum used to it with blended education gitu, jadi kerasa banget bilangnya kayak perbedaan yang tadinya belajarnya tatap muka, bisa dimarahin langsung, bisa ditegur langsung, bisa nanya langsung, ini jadi kayak harus online, ya kan, 50% atau 100% at that time is online Zoom ya, maksudnya lebih banyak pakai Zoom dibanding Jimit. Ada yang bilang Zoom lebih bagus, ada yang bilang Jimit lebih bagus, bahkan at that time kalau nggak salah Zoom itu cuman berlaku 40 menit ya awal-awal. Jadi itu sangat mengganggu gitu loh sebenarnya, yang kita di sekolah belajarnya 2 jam atau 1,5 jam, bahkan ada istirahat. Ini jadi 40 menit nih, bentar lagi kita udah 40 menit nih, nanti pindah link lagi ya. Nah, at that time tuh masih rancu banget gitu. Jadi ya kita bilang bahwa sebenarnya ini menyenangkan dan tidak menyenangkan. Kalau sekarang mungkin kita jauh lebih udah bisa adaptasi. Like this is the real kita punya education kan, kita bahkan itu lagi online gitu loh. Kalau sekarang mungkin jadi kayak udah biasa, udah jago kayak Zoom oke lah, di mana aja kapan aja gue siap Zoom. Kalau dulu apalagi anak sekolah SD SMP itu belum begitu mahir dengan problematika komputer lemot, kemudian pulsa habis, itu kita baru
challenging ya.
Ya, very challenging, and then ini baru lingkup Jakarta Barat gitu. Jadi that's why tadi kita juga bilang di sebelumnya research-nya kalau bisa lebih detail, kayak lokasi lebih luas, karena sebenarnya baru Jakarta Barat aja udah riweh gitu. Gimana kalau yang lain? Oh, sama ini paling teman-teman. ini kan concernnya ke sekolah yang bukan yang internasional or swasta yang mewah. Jadi pasti online teknik or online teknik education itu pasti sangat awam. Even ke guru-gurunya juga mungkin saat itu nggak awam banget gitu. Beda dengan guru-guru di sekolah yang lebih maju, yang mungkin menggunakan laptop, internet itu sudah di luar kepala gitu. Tapi kalau misalkan sekolah-sekolah yang dicontohkan dalam research ini, mungkin kita tidak pungkiri bahwa banyak guru-guru yang mungkin sudah senior dan kesulitan sekali how to join, how to create Gmeet or how to create Zoom link. And then how to, waktu dulu tuh mereka bahkan sampai suruh anak mereka kayak, tolongin papa dong, ini gimana cara masuk Zoom-nya nih, murid-murid papa udah nunggu, misalkan kayak gitu.
How to adapt.
Gitu, jadi waktu itu kondisinya lebih kayak gitu sih, Rahma. Dan teman-teman yang lain gitu. Itu dari kami, jawaban kami.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Any other question?
Heini, raise question. Raise hand.
Okay. Hi guys, good evening. Okay, first I want to appreciate your presentation. That was really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So my question is, sorry, you guys are mentioning it about by applying 10 communication patterns from the instructional communication. So my questions is, what do you guys think about the most effective communications for educations in Indonesia?
For now, like 2023.
Yeah.
Oke. Sembari ya, mungkin dari my team nih ada yang mau jawab dulu sebelum.
Oke, aku bantu jawab ya. Kan pertanyaannya adalah most effective communications for learning in Indonesia. I think is for now is like in these situations, I think we better to use 50-50 like online and face-to-face, because like there's still a perubahan gitu, apa namanya, adaptasi gitu dari online ke tatap muka lagi, karena beberapa hal yang memang menyebabkan yang ada seorang yang memang dia sangat enjoy dengan online, dan juga dia lebih fleksibel dengan online, tidak hanya cuma mahasiswanya, tapi juga tidak hanya semua siswanya, murid-muridnya, tetapi juga termasuk pengajar-pengajarnya gitu, yang memang lebih banyak gitu, lebih fleksibel dalam hal mengajarnya secara online. Tapi juga ada yang memang lebih merasa bahwa materi itu akan lebih masuk, lebih diterima, lebih ditanggapi itu dengan cara face to face gitu. Dan ini bisa dibilang paling efektifnya itu 50-50, tapi memang sebenarnya memang karena sudah terlalu lama gitu ya, kita 2 tahun itu selama ini kita belajar secara face to face gitu, dan tiba-tiba terutamanya untuk ini ya, untuk anak-anak SD, SMP, SMA gitu, yang memang mereka itu jarang ada sistem e-learning gitu, kecuali dengan mahasiswa yang memang punya lingkup kampus, universitas yang memang punya kelas online e-learning, mungkin memang masih bisa menjalankannya gitu dengan cukup lancar gitu. Tapi kalau misalkan untuk lingkup SD, SMP, SMA itu 50-50, tapi kayaknya memang harus dicenderungkan misalkan 80%-nya adalah secara face to face, 20%-nya secara online gitu. Karena itu bisa dibilang ngebantu anak-anak sekolah itu juga mengerti gitu teknologi yang ada dipakai gitu loh. Karena di kampus dalam lingkup universitas itu pasti kan menggunakan beberapa teknologi yang kayak hal-hal seperti Zoom, Gmeet, atau aplikasi lainnya yang memang dipakai untuk kelas gitu. Nah, ketika anak SMA ini atau SMP ini juga kalau sama sekali tidak ada terpapar gitu ya, bagaimana penggunaan itu, mungkin juga ketika dia masuk ke lingkup universitas juga mungkin akan rasa kaget gitu loh. Tapi ketika dia dari SD juga sudah SD, SMP, SMA itu udah terpapar, jadi ketika dia masuk kuliah, oh dia juga bisa mengerti. Jadi kalau misalkan dari sudut saya, untuk lingkup SD SMA mungkin 80%-nya ya secara face to face, 20% secara online, tapi kalau untuk lingkup universitas kuliah ya mungkin bisa bisa secara 50-50 gitu, 50-nya online, 5% lagi secara face to face gitu. Itu dari aku. Untuk teman-teman yang lain boleh tambahannya.
Mungkin Dinda mau tambahin atau teman-teman yang lain?
Sebelumnya apakah
Iya.
Heidi apa itu kah sudah bisa
Sudah cukup
sudah
menjawab kah?
menjawab gitu kah? Gitu. Teman-teman lain juga boleh juga ditambahin gitu.
It's okay. It's a good question. It's a good answer. Very insightful.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Haini. Thank you. Okay.
Next question maybe?
Ya, the last question.
Dari menunggu pertanyaan selanjutnya tadi saya setuju sih ya, maksudnya malah kalau menurut Jessie nggak hanya 50-50 sih gitu, bahkan 70-30 juga nggak apa-apa, tergantung dari kalau kayak anak SD itu, bahkan SD yang kecil itu kasihan loh gitu, anak-anak kelas 1, kelas 2, kelas 3, mereka tuh masih bingung banget gitu. Kalau misalkan banyakan offline, mereka akan lebih kreatif gitu. Tapi kalau kebanyakan online, kayaknya kasihan deh. Jadi rasanya akan lebih baik jika dibagi untuk yang usia berapa sampai berapa, online-nya berapa banyak, offline-nya berapa banyak gitu. Tapi kalau dibilang efektif ya sebenarnya tidak kita pungkiri bahwa offline method itu juga bagus. Online method itu juga bagus gitu. Jadi mempersingkat waktu, ruang, ya kan? Kayak sekarang kita nggak perlu hadir di satu tempat karena kita kelas karyawan sih ya, gitu. Jadi lebih ada efektifnya dari mana-mana pun, dari anywhere, kayak aku anywhere, everywhere gitu. Kalian di Bali, aku lagi di Kebon Jeruk, itu sangat memungkinkan. Tapi balik lagi, jika pertanyaan Haini mungkin kalau lebih spesifik mengenai pendidikan lingkup SD, SMP, SMA, aku rasa tetap kalau bagiku ya, ini kan tadi jawaban dari Rizka, bagiku 70-30 itu lebih adil. Kalau untuk kuliah, karena ada yang namanya kelas karyawan, ya 50-50 is better gitu. Kayak sekarang kita Sabtu masuk, Senin sampai Rabu kita cuman online gitu. Karena kan dilihat dari situasinya. Tapi kalau sekolah, aku rasa karena kita juga udah bayar full ya, online juga nggak dikasih diskon, aku rasa offline itu jauh lebih efektif, walaupun online sesekali untuk meningkatkan rasa percaya diri tampil dan mengikuti teknologi yang sekarang itu oke juga gitu. Ada lagi?
Okay, maybe the last questions.
Oke, last question.
Last question ya, Miss. 3 pertanyaan.
Ya, kita soalnya jawabnya bisa 15 menit sendiri.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, the last questions.
Amoy mungkin mau nanya? Ada Amoy? Kita presentasinya santai aja ya teman-teman, kita berusaha untuk nggak nervous, tapi pada akhirnya nervous juga. That's why kupikir penting juga loh untuk online kayak gini meningkatkan rasa percaya diri. Dan bagaimana kita bisa memanage banyak hal. Contohnya tadi banyak problem di awal, bahkan di pertengahan juga ada problem, tapi bagaimana kita bisa melihat how to handle problem kan. Iya, jadi itu juga bisa meningkatkan apa ya?
Salah satu cara pembelajaran kita untuk
handling objection, kemudian kayak satu teamwork gitu. Itu kan yang kadang di offline itu tidak melulu terjadi, ya kan? Ada pasti perbedaan presentasi online dan offline. Kalau dari kami lihat kejadian langsungnya sih gitu. Ini kita beri waktu 10 detik lagi. Kalau nggak ada pertanyaan, kita tutup. Supaya tidak membuang waktu. Takutnya teman-teman ada kuliah selanjutnya atau ada yang ingin melakukan kegiatan lain.
Ya.
Gimana?
I think
Ya, sudah 10 detik. Canda, Deng.
Oke. Ntar kalau yang tanya kita kasih reaction off.
Iya, kalau Rizka inget gak kebiasaan kita kalau presentasi apa? Biasanya kalau kita presentasi offline teman, kita itu apalagi nih awal bulan ya, kita suka bagi-bagi banyak sekali hadiah gitu. Tapi sayangnya karena ini online, sorry banget, kita nggak bisa bagi-bagi.
Kita kasih hadiahnya ini aja, send reaction ya.
Iya, gitu. Biasanya itu kita suka bagi-bagi makanan, bagi-bagi barang. Udah kayak giveaway deh pokoknya gitu.
Iya.
Apalagi banyak pertanyaan menarik tadi. Wah, itu harusnya Rahma sama Haini udah
You
dapet
guys can send us GoPay maybe.
gitu. Waduh, yang ngasih reaksi.
Gitu.
Ini kita paling banyak reaksi ya. Ya, ini sudah melihat sudah 10 detik lebih, tidak ada pertanyaan selanjutnya. Dari kami sih, kami rasa itu dulu ya presentasinya. Semoga teman-teman puas, terutama Miss Winda, semoga bisa enjoy dengan presentasi kami yang masih banyak kurangnya. Terima kasih yang sudah hadir pada malam hari ini dari Jessie and Friends. Nah, kan jadi kaku lagi lidahnya. Ya, thank you for
thank you for your attention, for your reactions
also. Ya, dari kami itu saja. Terima kasih. Sampai jumpa di pertemuan berikutnya.
Okay, see you. Oke.
Jangan lupa isi forum.
Ya, kita kembalikan ke Bu Winda ya.
Iya, kita kembalikan lagi ke Bu Winda. Jadi ini aku stop share ya.
Ya,
aku stop sharing.
Share. Oke, stop record nggak?
Ya,
Kita
stop.